as we approach the beginning of April. Well, that's quite a turning point into the gardening calendar, because there's less and less chance of being hit by frosts, although they're still around. And this is when I do the main potato planting. I've already started the first earlies, as you saw in the last video, but these are the second early, the Charlottes, and in a couple of weeks time I'll also be doing the Sao Palmyra as well. So in the meantime I'm going to get the 6 here and another 6, so 12 containers altogether with 4 in each. That's the first 6 buckets of Charlotte done there. I left a little lip at the top there just to retain the water. You can see the green mesh there. I'm going to pop that over the top just to keep the fox and the cats out for the next day or two. And we've got a little window of opportunity now with the sunshine up there, so I'm going to try and get the other 6 done. That's the 12 containers of Charlottes all done. I've double stacked them, as you can see, because we won't get any foliage popping up yet, at least for a couple of weeks. I've netted them, and if we have got any frost forecast I can actually pop a tarp over the top. They'll stay there, as I said, until I've actually finalised my bed plan, because we're still starting the clean-up. But once the bed plan is sorted, I know where they're going. I'll actually fill the bed with manure and nestle the buckets in. Sometimes you just have to be in the right place at the right time, and I think on this occasion I was. Popped into a little independent nursery near to me, and they'd just had a delivery of plug plants, and in there were these Cannas. Now they normally pot these up straight away and sell for around £6.50, £7. But I was kind enough to sell me these 6 plugs, and I got the lot for £7.50. I'm just going to pop these up now. With it being cold, nasty and damp outside, I've had to resort to my old faithful, the diesel-liter, to give me a bit of comfort in the greenhouse. But I just wanted to show you what a difference a bit of compost and some pots make. That's the 6 Cannas potted up now. They are the same variety, but not to worry, they'll be dotted around the border in the garden. Add a bit of height at the back and some lovely colour. I'll just pop you into the little VITOPOD, show you what's happening. Everything's coming along lovely now, especially as the daylight extends. Looking at the peppers, I'm in the state now where they need potting on, because I'm starting to go a little bit leggy, so I'm going to get that job done first. The peppers are in the VITOPOD now. 1 or 2 are going a bit floppy, but I'm certain they'll pick up. I'll put the lid back on to get the humidity up, and they'll be alright. And there's the Cannas as well. It's not too good outside, so I've come in, and today I'm going to be sowing some beetroot. I'll just show you these little seeds here. Beetroot's in what they're called multi-germ, which means that out of 1 seed you can get 2 or 3, 4 plants. So I'm just going to sow 1 seed in each of these modules. This is a Brassicas multi-purpose compost that I'm using. I'll put the seed in, I've pre-prepared the hole, drop the seed in, I'll give it a spray, and then we'll cover up. Now there's 42 cells in here. It seems quite a lot, but what I'll do, I'll plant them quite close together, and then comes to maturity I'll start taking every other one and give the other ones time to mature as big plants. I'm going to start pricking out these Dahlias now. You can see they've germinated quite well. Easy to get going these are, but say these are 10 days old since I sown these, and that's how far they've advanced already. And I'm going to be putting them in these little 12 cell half trays. I've already got the Dahlia red skin there. I've took the label off there to reuse it, and bath gates as usual into there, prick them out, and I'm going to put them into one of the unheated propagators just to get them the roots back into action again. I said these are the red skin mixed. I haven't grown these for a couple of years, so I plan on putting them around the front of the little garlic tanks just to add a splash of colour. So they've got a decent root size on them as well. Pop these down to the bottom of the seed leaf there. I'll give them a good soaking in once they're all done. And there we have it. Are you like me? There's always one left over at the tray. I can't bear to throw them away, so I'm going to put them in a little pot. It's nice to have a sit down. Last week I had a mail call and popped through the letterbox was this book. The author will need no introduction to you, Tony O'Neill from Simplified Gardening, and he's kind enough to send me a pre-release copy of his second book called Your First Vegetable Garden. Now I've not had time to really go through this in detail. I've had a quick skim through, but first impressions, the chapters here are enough to suit the first time gardener, but also the very experienced gardener. Looking at some of the sections, he's obviously gone into great depth and research covering all aspects, and it's 340 pages long, I think. Yep, 340, and right at the back there's quite a comprehensive addendum. It's about 30 odd pages with all the technical terms you look in there, and there's quite a good description of what everything means in there. And all the sections covered go from why do you want to grow your own vegetables, gardening spaces, plant health, weather, preparing the ground, propagation, growing veg, growing herbs, and pests and diseases. So it's quite comprehensive. There is one thing I did notice, that it's heavily aimed at the US, Canada market with the measurements, the growing zones and that. But to be fair, that's where Tony's main audience comes from. But at the back there's also a chart which does your equivalent conversions from the metric to the imperial system. So that's the book. I think it's available now on Amazon, it may be. I know on 7th of April, I think the ebook goes on sale, and I think there's also a hardback copy coming out as well. So this is a welcome addition to my ever-increasing gardening library. It's into probably a few hundred now. But no, thanks very much for that, Tony. Much appreciated. Going through my planting list, I just realised that I hadn't sown no lettuce. Now, ideal time now to sow it, because as it gets warmer and warmer, I think it's around about 15 degrees. Sometimes lettuce will get a bit temperamental about germinating, so they like it on the cool side. I've got a 24 cell tray here, so I'm going to do 3 lots of 8. First variety is one called Lolo Biondi. If you've grown Lolo Rosso, this is the green version of it, so it's quite nice. And these are the two my all-time favourites, them both the oak leaf type. And the red one is called Navara, and the green one's called Smile. I always give the lettuce a fine dusting with a vermiculite. Now this is what I've got in the jar. It's just a standard bag. You can get in different grades, but what I tend to do then, I've got a blender in the greenhouse here, just for stuff in the greenhouse, and I put it through there. In fact, I bought a big bag of it, and it took me probably almost a day, but that's going to last me a few years. Anyway, once I've done this, I'll give them a light spraying with the mister, and I'm going to take them down to the Allotment Greenhouse because it's a little bit cooler on there. I've lashed a little temporary bench up just to put the seedlings in, and there's the lettuce that we've just done, and there's the beetroot that we did a bit earlier. Up on the top there I've got the brassicas, and as you can see they're coming along nice looking plants, sturdy. I've had to put that bubble wrap on there. There's 2 things. First of all, it diffuses the light, any sun that shines doesn't scorch them. And secondly, there's a hell of a draft come through them panes, and it shields them from that as well. While we're on the subject of seeds, I thought I'd share with you an email that I received from DT Brown, and they're offering 20% off your next order. The code is TREAT20D. I'll put it at the bottom of the screen, and that code's valid until the end of December. Well, I finally got round to firming up the planting out plan for this year coming, and I've gone through all the crops and I think I've got them all covered, so hopefully nothing missed. The only other main job for me to do then is the 4 remaining containers for the main crop potatoes, and then the Sao Palmyra. Plan was to do them this afternoon, but it looks as though we got some more rain showers coming in, but not to worry. From then on, it'll be all our efforts out on the allotment, preparing the beds, where I'll hope you join me in the next edition of the MuddyBootz allotment. So until then, stay safe all. Many thanks for watching, and bye for now.